Hey, welcome back, we the people, to another presentation from PM Galleria. And this one I think we'll call Two Buys and Fuzzy Economics. Yes, I like that one. Two Buys and Fuzzy Economics. This piece right here is a .99 fine silver and oil on canvas painting, if that's what you want to call it. It's sort of weird because, again, not that I'm the only one doing it, or it hasn't been done before, because I'm sure there's many talented people all across the world throughout civilization and history that worked with precious metals in different forms of art. But just as it stands, I really don't see too many pieces in this category where they try to take money and turn it into something that works as an asset class. So we have art as well as precious metals, and with the way things are in the economy and financially, I try to provide things that people can find value in, but also have intrinsic value for them. So if you take this as an investment, uh, it will hold its value, of course. Well, not of course, depending over time and the situation and what it's against. But at the end of the day, it is money. So, you can do things with it. Worst come to worst, if it loses its value as art, it still has intrinsic value as money. And it is a way to store wealth. As far as value and the art aspect of it, it can increase. It may decrease. Who knows? As long as you find value in it yourself, I believe that you will always get your money's worth. No pun intended. Yes, but just designing it, I just had to think of the lumber, the two buys, and this color blue. This was somewhat of a challenge to try and match those dice of the person that is receiving these. Because the color of those dice are hard to make out with the different shades of light and times and things like that. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know this person that is going to receive it. They're very knowledgeable, very helpful, and this is my way of just adding back and trying to provide value to those who provide value, and try to uphold the people's standard of living, their condition. We just appreciate it. Not that we always agree with everything everyone does or says, because I most certainly do not agree with the self-fulfilling prophecy. I still hold that the inflation, the money printing rather, if that's what you want to call it, but the creation of credit and currency is happening, and it's only a result that the people begin to react and talk, and it's sort of like an echo chamber amongst them. But it's not the cause, it's just a symptom of it, because regardless of what the people say, begin to say what they had been doing, it isn't until these forces, these external forces that are put into play, change the condition and the situation of the people, causing them to therefore react to it in whatever manner they do, whether it be talking amongst each other, making more purchases than usual, making less purchases than usual, taking that loan out, not taking that loan out, or whatever it may be, have you taking that trip, deciding not to take the trip. All those are a reaction of what's happening with them. It's not the cause of what's happening. So I do not hold that it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is happening regardless to what the people do, and they are just reacting to it. This was, I like this right here. Me personally, how it came out, it was sort of just a little different method that I used. I actually had hand grind down silver bars in order to make the initial 4-point squares of the dice face. That is why you see the texture of it in this manner, and it gives it somewhat of a fuzz look, at least in my opinion, which I liked, you know. And the actual, I don't know what they call it, but you know, would it normally be ivory parts of the dice that show the numbers, we use silver crystal, and I like to work with the silver crystal. The reason you see it in this manner is because where I'm at right now, which is in my car, fitting tribute, and the light is reflecting off of it, so that's kind of why you see that. So and in the background you have fine silver twine, which we made somewhat of a rope with, that hangs from the rear view mirror, and you can almost see the grind up silver grains because you can't find it. So you know, most people will not have this for sale, or at least I haven't found any myself. You can find silver shot for those who pour specific pieces, but I cannot find it in dust form. So you got to do it yourself, which is extremely time consuming. So you can imagine. I am trying to look for a way to get around having to do that part of the process, because it makes producing these even much longer, you know. But yes, they came out, and it told us is around maybe an ounce, maybe a little bit more, with the dice, the background, and everything else of it, of fine silver. So you know, I like it. It's hidden wealth. You can hang it up and a person wouldn't have a clue that they're staring at more money than a large part of the population of the earth has. And you may ask, why the rear view mirror? An actual rear view mirror. I would say with the works that I do, this sort of goes back to the NFT thing. Not taking anything away from that community, but no buts. It's art. Anything, I consider art anything that people just use as a means of expressing a form of communication, or a thought, or a feeling, or just anything they want to get out. It could be anything, you know. There are many different forms of art now. I believe that is just one of them. As for me though, I find it hard to find value in that type of art, whether it be personal or intrinsic. Just so far, maybe in the future I may find some personal value in it, but none intrinsic. And also, I like these to be interactive. I like for you to sort of experience being in and being a part of whatever it is that, you know, I created, because it takes two people. It takes somebody to relay and send out that thought, it also takes someone in order to receive it and understand it in a manner that it is valuable to them, but it doesn't lose the flavor that you've given to it, the part of you that is you. And the rear view mirror, in its terms, it sort of reminds me, it's like the markets are forward thinking. But it's like, you remember Churchill who said, I believe it was, the further back you look, the further forward you can see. So it's like every time we look in the rear view mirror, you can see your own personal growth, and where you're at. And when you look ahead past that and you look at the road ahead of you, you can see your future. It's also sort of like a reality check. Every time you go pass by there and you look and you see it, it's a reality check for you. Maybe for the person receiving it, it can act as a second office, because I know a lot of times we may sit in our cars pondering the mysteries of the universe. Can't always do that because, home duties also. So maybe if it's somewhere where as though it can be got to, maybe they give that feeling, or that scene in the mind of just being where you can gather your thoughts, Yep, but I like to take this platform and, we are new. We're a growing channel. So some of you may find my views, some of them good, some of them bad, some of them ugly. You may agree with them, you may not. Who knows? But this is my way of, adding value. One thing I would like to talk about is, looking back and ahead on people and their complacency in allowing others who have no voice in what we the people decide for ourselves to have a voice. And this is, I believe, a great disservice to them, their families, their neighbors, their country, their future generations, and just in general, it's not good. Like you got this whole battle with 2A and what people should be allowed to have and what they shouldn't be allowed to have and when they should be allowed to have it. Who is it that gives another person authority over whether or not they are able to preserve themselves, their lives, their family lives, the property and what they spent their lives doing? I don't understand giving anyone say in any of that. It's just it leaves me flabbergasted that people even give ear to that. Let that have wind. No, you have no say in anything. Nothing. You nothing at all. It's just amazing. And then they give an argument, nobody should have this or that, as if robberies, assaults, rapes, break-ins, just doesn't exist anymore. It never has existed. So, for people to say, oh, there's no reason that you or the military, I don't need your permission. I never did, and I never will ask for it. I have no need to. And if I ever did, it's when I decide to, if I ever decided to. Take it for what it's worth. Take it for what you want. It is what it is. It has to get to a point where you have to realize that everything in your life is just not going to be comfortable. And it seems the more comfortable you try to make it with this, with these demands that these people place upon you, the harder and the more difficult and the more uncomfortable it seems to be getting for you. But again, people don't realize that. There shouldn't be any groups, any organizations, because you don't need that. The answer simply is beat it. Kick rocks. I don't need to ask you anything. I don't need for you to vote on anything. You have no voice. I pay you, and I'm not paying you for that. My money does not go to that. My money does not go to some foreign country. My money does not go to some crazy bill where it, I'm just amazed that the inflation bill, really? The Inflation Act? Are you serious? How ironic is that? Like, you have named the act after the very thing causing what you say the act is going to cure. Your act is the very problem. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Really, really amazing. But yes, I think that the blue does stand out against the background. I like it. I hope the person receiving this enjoys this and they find some value out of it. And even if they don't, if by chance one day they ever got to go to the scrap yard or go to a gallery or post it somewhere, that it provides some type of intrinsic value for them as well as a personal value. So with that being said, I definitely appreciate your work. This is going to be, I believe, one out of, let me see, I think it is maybe about 7 unique pieces going out over the course of this summertime to different content creators. Yep. But this one is called Two Buys and Fuzzy Economics, right? We the people, I thank you for being here. I thank you for taking your time to view this. Again, we the people, it is you. You are the people. You are in control. You are the we. We are the you. It is us and it is them. All right? Those are the only two groups. Doesn't matter what religion, what color, what anything when it comes to that. Because it is either they want you as a slave or you are one of the people that are fighting it, or it's going to be you're one of them. And we're not part of the club. We aren't. So protect yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and I hope the best for you. I will see you next time, we the people. PM Galleria, signing out.